Hello guys, I'm here with the Sunday night review of the game that we played at the weekend, as the Mariners did fall to a 3-1 home defeat at the hands of Franchise FC, otherwise known as MK Dons. And I've done this to just get my head round it. I didn't want to come on here straight after. Not because I was fuming, more because I was stunned. The Mariners, is it me, or right now, especially in our league, or at our sort of levels, are we the most frustrating team to watch right now? Are we the most frustrating team? I feel like we are. Because I feel so frustrated watching Grimsby right now. So frustrated watching them. We are like a box of chocolates. Well, I say that, you kind of know what you're going to get. Away from them, you're going to get a strong, resolute defence. And at home, you get a treacle sponge. to be completely honest, it's like dancing on ice. You just sliding across the ice, falling over a lot as well. And I say that because I don't want to come across too harsh on Artel and the boys on this review. But how do you go from 1-0 up at half time to losing 3-1 is beyond me. Let's just take you through a few of the facts, really. Danny Rose obviously signed his new contract in the week. His contract extension. After 16 minutes, a great ball over from Denver Hume, played through to Danny Rose. It's kind of like on the corner of the box, and he stroked it in. 1-0 to Grimsby. Totally in control by this point. Grimsby had been on top from start to finish, so much so the lineup was officially Jackson Smith, who we believe will have played his last game for the club. Like he's got a groin problem as well. He was looks like he was struggling with a problem during that game. Terrell Warren was left back. Denver Hume right back, or right wing back. I'm going to get onto that in a minute as well. Cameron McJanet, Doug Darm and Harvey Rogers. Barrington, Evan Corey, George McEachran, Danny Rose and Justin Abikwu up front. And I'm going to praise them because for the first 40 minutes of this game, I am going to use a term that David Artel uses. We should have been 2 or 3 up. They weren't handling Abikwu. Abikwu was being a great target man. That day he was getting to most balls. Most of the passes were kind of measured, and they knew where they were going. It was sort of like a real good, strong first half performance. 5 shots on target overall, 15 shots altogether for Grimsby. And in that first half, if we'd have gone in 2-0 up, no one would have complained. I certainly wouldn't. And it was a dominant game. Rosie had a couple of other chances besides that in the first half. We had MK Dons on the ropes. We had them on the run. They were not coping there Our press was absolutely the best I've seen it. And it was a joy to behold. And how Grimsby weren't more than one up, I don't know. I wouldn't say there was clear chances after that goal, but you know, territorially, I get my teeth in right, get my English in right. Miners were far better. MK Dons couldn't get out of their half a lot of the time. It was kind of a pretty easy watch for the back line, really, because every single time they did, there was slide tackles going in. You know, everything was going good, and we went in 1-0 up. I stupidly looked at the league table at half time. Probably the biggest mistake I could have made, really. Because we were fifth at the time of half time. You know, 2 points off second. And I got, shall we say, questioned after the game. I'll get onto that in a minute as well during the review. And second half, I just don't know what happened. Well, I do. We didn't come out of the dressing room. And it's not the first time we've done that at home this season. We got caught cold. Simple as that, we got caught cold. 4 minutes after the restart, Alex Gilby put MK Dons in front. It was a cross. Again, we don't stop the cross. And Alex Gilby swings him round toward the back post, and in it went. Not good defending at all. Not reactive at all. And that, you know, you're thinking, okay, keep it, keep it level for a little while. Maybe we might be able to get our way back into it. Oh, how wrong we were where that was concerned. And Scott Hogan, again, from another cross, which Grimsby just... what is it with us and not dealing with damn crosses? Every time a cross seems to come in, it's either close or it goes in. Scott Hogan, very similar, a simple tapping really for Hogan. Made it 2-1, and you're thinking the floodgates are going to open, aren't they? That wasn't the case. But Aaron the Man, the former Notts County winger, supplied the delivery for Hogan. Almost perfect ball, and then I can't say much else about Town because we didn't really do anything. Did we really react? Not really. I think really MK Dons were winning that game from the minute they scored their first. Our heads just dropped unbelievably. And then, fair dues, trying to get back into it. Ardell did make a lot of attacking changes at half time. Fair dues. He did. He brought on Cam Gardner, Donovan Wilson, Jaden Looker just after the hour, Callum Ainley, Svan Dawson. Attacking players, he brought them all on. And Looker possibly had possibly a chance, but he wasn't played in right. And but apart from that, really, Grimsby didn't offer much. not out and out anyway. And they caught us again. MK Dons caught us again. And Lemon Evans, again, another former Notts County player. And on the man, obviously know each other quite well from the days there. And he, while Grimsby were pushing to try and get an equaliser, which probably on the whole we probably deserved it. Because after their second, we didn't really create a great deal, but I also felt like we played good enough football where we could have got something from it, and that's why I'm trying to be a lot more measured in this. But they caught us again, and Lemon Evans made it 3-1 in the 95th minute, which condemned Grimsby to a third straight home defeat. And yes, it was a capitulation, but not in the same way. We didn't really have a sustained period of pressure in the second half. And I'm not surprised by what we did, what we achieved, or lack thereof. I think in the first half we got most of the calls. In the second half they got most of them. I think it's a 50-50 game in that regard, decisions-wise. And it felt like another defeat with a whimper. People have said, what's being said in the dressing room at half time? Got no idea, because when we did it last week against Walsall, last home game, not last weekend, but last weekend against Walsall we did it, and we were 0-0 at half time there. Ended up losing 4-1. And we did the same again. But this time even worse. We were 1-0 up at half time. And we ended up losing 3-1. I asked some people next to me going, why can't we defend at home? Why can't we defend at home? We've come off beating Tranmere, winning our last 4 away games because we can defend away from home. Are we too open at home? Do we need to be more gritty? I know it's not the way Artel likes to play, but the performance wasn't terrible by the lads at all. Abiku, like I said, he had a good first half. Denver Hume, he's used as a wing back. He's not a wing back, he's a winger. He's not a defender, I don't think. His defensive duties aren't his strongest, but his attacking and some of the crosses he has is great. But again, back to the question. Why can't we defend at home? I just don't understand it. Why have we lost 3? We've lost by a ratio of the last 3 home games. We've lost 10 goals to 2 at home. Artel was asked during his post-match, and he goes, we've met another team that's going to be up there and in the top 7 this season. That's Artel's reasoning. Is they're going to be in the top 7, so we can accept losing to these teams. And he also said that Colchester will be, which is the next home game in a couple of weeks, will be the next home league game, let me just state. And that will be a good idea of where we are. Where we are is simple as that. 10th, and it's as simple as this. We are where we are because we can't defend. And I keep saying this and saying this every single time. When Town slip up, I feel like I say the same thing. We can't defend. And there was no, it's good sides, yeah. Why aren't we a good side? Aren't we a good side? These teams, MK Dons, Walsall, and Doncaster, they're going to be in the top 7. I agree with Walsall and Doncaster, but that excuses us for conceding 10 goals, does it? And I made a statement in the preview video that said usually when Town score the first goal, they don't concede. This person has since apologised to me, and I appreciate people's opinions. I also understand that it was highly emotional after seeing what felt like a capitulation again. I won't go that far, but it was a fall off. It was definitely a fall off. Apparently, that usually we win when we score first. That stat, when I told you guys that stat was true. That stat was 100% true. If you went through the results, which I did prior to the game against MK Dons, every result that I mentioned, apart from Carlisle, every time Town had scored up until Saturday first, they'd won. This was the first time that we lost from a winning position or dropped points because we haven't drew this season. First time we dropped points from a winning position. So I could understand the frustration in the guy. I really could. I'm not going to name him because that's not fair. But but everything I tell you on these previews and reviews, they're true. Because he said, what's my opinion now? What I told everybody is true. And you can look back on results as well prior to Saturday. Every time we've scored and scored first, apart from Saturday, we won. But we can't defend. Plain and simple as that, we can't defend. And, Artel was very sort of dismissive when it was said about leaking as many goals. No, because he can accept losing to Doncaster heavily. He can accept losing to Walsall heavily. He can accept losing to MK Dons heavily. Who I can't accept, and I'll say this, to lose to anybody at home heavily. I can accept losing at home. I can accept losing, not heavily. And this one may not have been heavily in sense of scoreline in this regard, but it's how quickly they went from 1-0 down to 2-1 up within 7 minutes. and actually within 8 minutes of the restart, they'd gone from 1-0 down when Town were playing fantastic. If we'd scored a second goal while we were bossing that first half for the first 40 minutes, we'd have won that game. If we'd have scored a second goal, we would have won that match. We didn't. We conceded within 4 minutes, and it was only one winner from then. I don't know what to tell you guys, really. Yep, the good thing is the Mariners are down to 10th. The bad thing is the Mariners can't defend. If we look at the league table, just before I finish, I'll make a couple more statements and then I'll finish this review. We have won 7 and lost 7 of the 14 games that we've played. We've scored 18 goals so far. We've conceded 25. Is that not worrying? That we can go to Tranmere, who, to be fair, are actually the poorest attack in this division, won 1-0, and rode our luck at times. We've gone to Carlisle, won 3-2. We beat Brom. Strange how we've been well beaten on some other games, but the games that we've won, here's a stat for you. When we've lost majority of the time by 2 goals or more. When we have won, we have not won by a bigger margin than 1. So we've been given some hidings, and at home, which should never happen. You might get the odd one now and again. These aren't now and again. But we've won by no more than a margin of 1 goal. But every game Town have lost this season has been by 2 or more. And one thing I'll say is every time I get frustrated, like every fan does. And Artel, to me, he seemed a bit not airbrushed, but he seemed a bit like, yeah, but it was MK Don, so we'll accept that. It was Walsall, so we'll accept that. It's Doncaster, so we'll accept that. I don't know how anybody and any fan can accept losing by 2 or 3 goals at a time. And especially at home. It 10th. We're 10th because it's so tight. And we're 10th because we've won 5 games away from home this season. We've won 2 at home. Bradford was a 2-1. Barrow was a 2-0 defeat. Bromley was a 1-0 win. So the 2 home wins that we've had this season have been by 1 goal. I'm just trying to give you some reasons as to I don't want to say how lucky we are to be 10th. I did see some people say on the forums and that, they were saying, if we win the next league game, we'll be right back in it again. Are we at home or are we away? Away, I feel like we could probably go to anywhere and win. At home, how many are we going to concede this time? My overall feeling on this is the position is great. We will drop from there. Basically, Wimbledon win a couple of games because they've got 3 games in hand on us due to obviously their pitch issues. And he talks about Colchester. Well, at the moment, Colchester are fourth bottom. And so that will tell us where we are, according to Artel, when we play Colchester at home. So again, if you beat a team that have got, heck, a better defence than we do, they've only conceded 20 in 13. We've conceded 25 in 14. Yes, I'm frustrated. I'm trying to stay as level-headed as I can because, like I said, we're all in it together as a fan base and as a club. The board are doing fantastic work off the field. We've just re-signed Danny Rose for an extra year. But two things we can't do. We can't defend and we can't stop a cross consistently enough. And so the Mariners lie in 10th. We've got 2 cup games coming up this week, both at home. One against Wealdstone on Saturday, one against Man City's under 21s. There'll be a preview for the Wealdstone game, so do look out for that. I'll do a couple more videos this week. This week I want you guys' input. This one hurts. This defeat hurts. Actually, in the last 2 games, let's put it this way, at half time we've been in both of them. At full time, it feels like we've been absolutely battered in both of them. And now Milton Keynes have took our place up in 8th. Walsall a 3rd. For 45 minutes in each, we were more than competition for them. This isn't dejection. This is confusion. The reason why we have lost so many games this season is, like I said, is because we cannot defend. We have got the joint second worst defence in the entire division. That's why we're not top 3, top 4. Nothing else. That's why we're not top 3, top 4. Because we were 5th at half time. We're now half that. We're 10. And this is why I've left it till now to do the review, because one thing I would think of is take Hume out of wing back and put him as a natural winger, because he has natural width. He's not great defensively. Put him as a natural winger. I think you'll get more out of Denver playing like that and playing there than we do from a defensive standpoint. I think anyway. The good news is it looks like Harvey is going to be back. So Jackson Smith will be going back. I would imagine, it's not been announced yet, but I would imagine he's back in training, so if he can play, he will play. You could put Orton in on Tuesday if need be. I know fans will say Tuesday's not a big deal. I'll be watching it on Sky Sports Plus, of course. But it's annoying because I don't know whether sometimes with Artel he wants to see it. I would have. I watched his interview with the club media, and I agree with 90% of what he said in it. I listened to the one he did at Radio Humberside. I believe 20% of what he said in it. Just admit we lost that game not because MK Dons were a million miles better, not because Walsall are a million miles better either. It's because we didn't start in the second half and we can't defend. I've said this from the beginning. With Artell, it's all or nothing. But our defence do not help our attack. We scored 18 times this season. 18 goals. Scattered all over the place. So we've got goals in the team. But our defence do not help Danny Rose. They do not help Justin Abiku. They do not help Donovan Wilson. Because where you get teams like Walsall, like Port Vale, like Doncaster, they can, like Chesterfield, they can score goals. They can score goals. They don't have to score 3, 4, 5 at a time. Or 3 goals minimum. Town have to score 2 goals minimum just to get something out of a game. It's not that we can score 2, we have to score 2 because it's all or nothing. With that, but it's not all or nothing when we go away. We played very, very similar to how we played under Paul Hurst away from home. Resolute. When we play Artell's style at home, we can't defend. It frustrates me. That's why right at the start of the video I said, is Grimsby the most frustrating team to watch right now? You know, we get results away from home and then we get battered against 3 sides right up there. Don't get me wrong, you know. Walsall second as they are at the moment. Doncaster fourth, even though it was a bit ironic. Last week Doncaster lost to Bromley. And now MK Dons up in 8th. You know, and we're only in 10th. So it's not all doom and gloom. But it just feels like we have to accept being beaten heavily by those teams because they're going to be top 7. If our defence was right, we'd be top. We'd be top 7. We won't be top 7 with this defence that we've got. We won't be top 10 with the defence that we've got. Because so many people are taking points everywhere else. We are better than last year. I just want to finish on this. We are better than last year. There's no getting away from that. Away we are. At home, we're just as poor, to be honest. But I think we're more poor in regards to we're conceding a lot more. And I think I've heard a couple of fans use the term Groundhog Day. Feels like that sometimes when you watch Mariners. People say, well, we're in a fair position. We're in a good position after 14 games. Of course we'd take that after 14 matches. 10th? Yeah, of course. No one would say no to that after 14 games. But also I wouldn't expect to lose 10 goals to 2 on aggregate in 3 home games against anybody. And, Wealdstone on Saturday are going to feel like they can come here because they will have watched our last three games, including they'll probably get somebody at the trophy game in midweek. They'll watch us here and go, do you know what? If we can get at their back line, we can get at their wing backs, and we can get crosses into the box, they're vulnerable. I want us to batter Wealdstone because I think the attack deserve more credit than they get. Because the attack and attacking players are having to take the chances. It's not because they can take them, they have to take them. And if we're not professional on Saturday, and by that I mean if we're not respectful towards the threat that Wealdstone will pose, we could get knocked out of the FA Cup as well. Away, I'd fancy us to do the job. At home, I'm not so sure. At home, I'm genuinely not so sure whether we can get the job done. If we can keep the door closed, as we've done a few times away from home, yeah, we can get the job done. But I don't know whether we can. There's a lot of improvements that have to be done, but I'm not going to be as blasé as that and say, well, it was, all three of them are probably going to be top 7. Well, not everyone's going to be top 7. Bradford are top 7 and we've beaten them. So I don't know. I want you guys to tell me. I want a lot of you guys' input this week. Am I annoyed? Am I frustrated? No, I'm confused. I'm very confused at why we can do what we can do away from Blundell Park, but at Blundell Park we just don't seem to have the mentality to. Well, sorry, that's wrong. We have the mentality for 45 minutes or so. Second half, we just seem to go, oh, well, it because it's Doncaster, because it's Walsall, and like I said, Artel's statement post-match was because it's MK Dons and they're going to probably be top 7 as well, we can accept losing by 2 goals or more. Let me know what you guys think. Congratulations, another great attendance again, 5,853. The MK Dons fans made a lot of noise, credit to them. It was a bubbling atmosphere at the beginning, and when Rosie scored the goal, we thought, oh, this could be different. But at the end of the day, I think that is that 3. Well, that's at least 3 straight home defeats. Yeah, against decent sides. Yes, against sides in the top 3 or 4 and top 10. I don't think we've beaten this side in the top. Well, we have because we beat Bradford. But every other team that we've played in the top 10 we've lost to. We've still got Port Vale to play this year. And I think we've still got Crewe to play this year in the initial top 10. So, and apart from Bradford, we've lost to every single one of them. And miraculously, we're still in the top 10. So there is a positive there, but I want you guys' views on this. What do you guys think? You know, 25 goals in 14 games, good enough? Can you accept because it is Walsall, because it is MK Dons, because it is Doncaster? Can you accept the mental collapse? Because I can't. I can't accept the mental collapse. And how easy some of my goals conceding has been. So let me know down below what you think and your opinions on this weekend. I think I'll give it another 6 games, then we'll have a real good chat with everybody and sort of view where we are after 20 games fully. So that'll probably be close to about an hour long video maybe. We'll see. But in the meantime, guys, let me know what you think. Are you like me? Absolutely just confused. What do we do that makes us so resolute away that we can't do here? That we can't do on our own patch? Someone could please answer that. I'd love to know. So please do like, share, subscribe, comment. Give me your honest opinion. And like I said, just to that statement from that fan, and I'll say it again, and I appreciate what the guy said because he has an opinion. I'm not in that defence. And every single stat and every single thing that I give you on this channel is not made up. I make sure that what I give you is right information. If I say it, it's out publicly. If I say it, you can look it up yourself. It's all there. Everything's there. So when I said that we hadn't lost when going in front, or we hadn't until Saturday. We hadn't. So, one to me. But do let me know your comments down below and your opinion on this. Like I said, we don't want to be too downbeat. You know, we're still in the top 10. But I am alarmed by the amount of goals that we're conceding at home. That alarms me. It really does. When we concede at home, we can see plenty. So let me know down below. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. And I might pop on for a little video after Tuesday night. I'm not reviewing the game, previewing the game, but I may review it. But I will be back definitely for a preview, of the FA Cup tie against Wealdstone, and I might let you in on a couple of things that's happening with me coming up in the next few weeks. But in the meantime, guys, like, share, subscribe, comment. I do respect and appreciate everybody's comment, whether, like I said, whether we agree or disagree. It is what it is. In the meantime, guys, I will let you guys go, and if you are going to the Man City game on Tuesday, do go. I've probably got some news about the ladies team, which I'll share in the preview as well. Well, actually, I'll say it now just before I go. They will be at Blundell Park again, which will be great for the girls. They're having a cracking season, really. Good to see the ladies doing well again. So that's good to know as well. So that's me done for this review / rant, I guess. But do like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Up the Mariners, and I will see you for the Wealdstone preview in midweek. So up the Mariners, guys, and let's try and defend, shall we? I'll see you soon. Ta-da for now.